Imagine this. You're sitting in a house filled with food, but the doors are locked. You're starving while the fuel is right there, just out of reach. That's exactly what happens inside the body when you develop metabolic disease. Your cells are surrounded by energy, yet they can't access it. And that's why conditions like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, kidney disease, and even Alzheimer's are exploding around the world. On today's episode of Live Healthy Every Day, we're going to reveal the #1 best meal that can help reverse metabolic disease, heal your mitochondria, and restore energy at the deepest level of your cells. And trust me, you've probably never thought of food this way before. What is metabolic disease really? Most people think metabolism simply means how fast you burn calories or whether you can lose weight easily. But that's a huge misconception. Metabolic disease is far more serious. It's cellular energy failure. Your body is swimming in glucose and fat, yet your cells are locked out. Think about type 2 diabetes. Blood sugar is high, but tissues like the brain, heart, eyes, and kidneys are starving. That's why people go blind, develop kidney failure, suffer nerve damage in their feet and hands, and face amputations. Even Alzheimer's disease is now being called type 3 diabetes because brain cells literally starve in the middle of excess sugar. And here's the shocking reality. Nearly 1 in 4 people are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, or chronic kidney disease. Even scarier, Harvard research shows that 93% of U.S. adults have at least one metabolic risk factor, whether that's high blood sugar, high blood pressure, abnormal lipids, fatty liver, or belly fat. That means only 7% of adults are truly metabolically healthy. The root cause: too much sugar, too often. Let's break down why this happens. A normal blood sugar level is around 80 mg/dl. That's about 1 teaspoon of sugar in your entire bloodstream. That's all your body can safely handle. Now, how much sugar does the average person eat in a day? About 31 teaspoons. And that doesn't even include starches, refined carbs like maltodextrin, modified food starch, and cornstarch. These are hidden in breads, crackers, sauces, snacks, and processed foods. On average, Americans consume 56 teaspoons of starch daily. Added together, that's around 87 teaspoons of sugar every day, sometimes even more when you account for 3,000 calorie diets. Your body scrambles to survive by pumping out insulin to sweep this sugar away and store it as belly fat, liver fat, and triglycerides. But over time, this relentless demand burns out your pancreas, destroys your mitochondria, and locks your cells into insulin resistance. That's the true engine of metabolic disease. The way out: change what and how you eat. To reverse this, you need 2 big shifts. Cut down refined carbs and starches. Stop eating so frequently. When you reduce carbs and space out meals, say 2 meals a day or sometimes even 1, you allow insulin to drop, mitochondria to heal, and your body to tap into stored fat. You'll know it's working when you can go from one meal to the next without feeling desperate hunger. That's a sign your body is finally burning its own fuel efficiently again. The best meal to rebuild your health. So what should this healing meal look like? Let's put it together step by step. 1. Start with a powerful salad. Use a base of arugula or another cruciferous leafy green. Arugula is packed with nitrates that boost nitric oxide, helping blood vessels relax, lowering blood pressure, and improving circulation. It's also rich in magnesium, folate, vitamin C, and chlorophyll, all key for mitochondrial energy production. Dress it with apple cider vinegar, which improves insulin sensitivity, and extra virgin olive oil, full of artery-protecting polyphenols. Add a sprinkle of roasted pumpkin seeds for magnesium, and a spoonful of nutritional yeast or sunflower seeds for natural B vitamins, especially B1, B2, and B3, which are essential spark plugs for turning food into energy. Top it off with a ripe avocado. Potassium from avocados lowers blood pressure, protects kidneys, calms your nervous system, and restores the sodium-potassium balance that keeps every muscle and nerve firing properly. 2. Add high-quality protein and healthy fats. Here's the surprise. The centerpiece isn't fish or chicken, it's grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef or lamb. Why? Because red meat provides unique nutrients your mitochondria crave: carnosine, carnitine, creatine, heme iron, zinc, selenium, and the full spectrum of bioavailable B vitamins, including B12. These compounds directly transport fat into mitochondria and protect against carb-induced damage. Forget the bun, just enjoy the high-quality protein and fat. This isn't fast food junk, It's nutrient-dense fuel that helps repair muscle, restore mitochondrial efficiency, and rebuild your body at the cellular level. 3. Finish with a functional dessert. For dessert, try a homemade yogurt rich in a special gut microbe called lutein, which regulates other bacteria, improves insulin sensitivity, and even boosts oxytocin, the feel-good social bonding hormone. Mix in a few pieces of sugar-free dark chocolate for its nitric oxide-boosting polyphenols and magnesium. Add a dash of cinnamon for an extra blood sugar benefit. Lifestyle boosters that supercharge the meal. Food is just one part of the picture. To maximize results, go for a 20-minute walk after meals. This burns off glucose, especially important if your liver still produces excess sugar at night or in the morning, the dawn effect. Exercise regularly. Resistance training and high-intensity intervals are powerful tools for insulin sensitivity and mitochondrial repair. Get daily sun exposure. Infrared light penetrates the skin and supports mitochondrial function, while vitamin D helps regulate immunity and metabolism. Avoid ultra-processed foods. Don't bring them home. You only have to say no once at the store. If they're in your pantry, you'll be fighting temptation every night. And don't forget about vitamin B1, thiamine. The more refined carbs you've eaten in the past, the more B1 you've likely depleted. Without it, your mitochondria can't use fuel effectively. Replenishing B1 is like putting spark plugs back into a dead engine.
When we look beyond food choices and lifestyle habits, a deeper story unfolds. One that explains why some people struggle to reverse metabolic disease even when they cut carbs, exercise, and fast. The hidden drivers are often inflammation, oxidative stress, and nutrient deficiencies. Together, these silent disruptors weaken mitochondria, damage blood vessels, and push insulin resistance further. Chronic inflammation, the silent accelerator. Inflammation is part of the body's natural defense system, but when it lingers at low levels for years, it becomes destructive. Elevated blood sugar itself fuels inflammation. Excess glucose binds to proteins in a process called glycation, creating sticky compounds that injure blood vessels and nerves. This is why uncontrolled diabetes leads to neuropathy, kidney disease, and heart attacks. The solution lies in calming this fire from multiple angles. Omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish, chia seeds, or flax can lower inflammatory markers and improve arterial flexibility. Colorful vegetables and berries supply polyphenols that neutralize free radicals. Think blueberries, pomegranates, and kale. Turmeric and ginger, long used in traditional medicine, directly inhibit inflammatory pathways in the body. By building meals rich in these compounds, you create an anti-inflammatory shield around your cells. Oxidative stress and mitochondrial damage. Every time your mitochondria burn fuel, they release reactive oxygen species, tiny sparks of chemistry that, in small amounts, are harmless. But when mitochondria are overloaded with poor quality fuel from refined carbs and seed oils, these sparks multiply into wildfires, damaging DNA, membranes, and enzymes. This oxidative stress is one reason people with metabolic disease age faster and feel more fatigued. Antioxidants from whole foods can extinguish the flames. Vitamin C from citrus and peppers regenerates other antioxidants and supports collagen in arteries. Vitamin E from nuts and seeds protects fats and cell membranes. Selenium from Brazil nuts aids the glutathione system, the body's master antioxidant defense. Interestingly, exercise also helps balance oxidative stress. Though it produces free radicals in the moment, it stimulates the body's internal antioxidant systems to grow stronger, much like lifting weights builds stronger muscles. The overlooked role of environmental toxins. We rarely think about it, but toxins in air, water, and food packaging burden our detox systems. Heavy metals like mercury and lead, pesticide residues, and endocrine-disrupting plastics interfere with mitochondria and hormonal balance. These exposures make it harder for cells to use insulin properly. Simple steps can reduce this load. Choose organic produce for the dirty dozen fruits and vegetables most contaminated by pesticides. Store food in glass or stainless steel instead of plastic. Drink filtered water to reduce heavy metal and chemical exposure. Supporting the liver, the body's main detox organ, also matters. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts contain sulforaphane, a compound that boosts detox enzymes and may even protect against cancer. Micronutrients that unlock energy. While macronutrients, proteins, fats, and carbs, get most of the attention, Micronutrients often determine whether your cells can actually use those macronutrients. Deficiencies are surprisingly common, even in developed countries. Magnesium. Required for ATP production, nerve function, and insulin signaling. Low magnesium is linked with higher rates of diabetes and heart disease, found in leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and dark chocolate. Potassium. Essential for fluid balance, muscle contraction, and blood pressure control. Bananas are famous for it, but avocados, spinach, and beans contain even more. Zinc. Supports immune function and insulin storage in the pancreas. Best sources are oysters, pumpkin seeds, and beef. Chromium. Helps insulin move glucose into cells. Small amounts are found in broccoli, eggs, and whole grains. Correcting these deficiencies can dramatically improve metabolic health, sometimes even without major diet changes. The gut metabolism connection. The gut microbiome influences far more than digestion. It plays a central role in blood sugar regulation and inflammation. Certain bacterial strains produce short-chain fatty acids that improve insulin sensitivity and reduce appetite. But when the microbiome is imbalanced, harmful bacteria leak toxins into the bloodstream, triggering systemic inflammation and worsening insulin resistance. Restoring gut balance involves eating fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, and kefir, increasing dietary fiber from vegetables, legumes, and flaxseed, avoiding excessive antibiotics and ultra-processed foods that wipe out beneficial microbes. Over time, a healthier microbiome can reduce cravings, stabilize mood, and enhance metabolic resilience. Hormonal balance beyond insulin. Insulin isn't the only hormone in play. Cortisol, thyroid hormones, and sex hormones all impact metabolism. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, signaling the liver to dump glucose into the blood. Low thyroid function slows energy production, making fat loss difficult. Declining sex hormones in men and women reduce muscle mass and increase fat storage. Addressing lifestyle factors, stress reduction, quality sleep, regular movement, naturally supports hormonal balance. In some cases, medical evaluation may be necessary to correct deeper imbalances. Building a daily blueprint for healing. The path forward isn't about perfection, but about consistency. Imagine a typical healing day. Morning. A walk in natural sunlight, black coffee, or green tea without sugar. Midday meal, a salad base of arugula, avocado, pumpkin seeds, olive oil, and a portion of salmon or grass-fed beef. Afternoon. Short movement breaks, hydration with water, a few deep breathing sessions to reset cortisol. Evening meal, steamed broccoli with olive oil, grilled chicken or lamb, roasted root vegetables in moderation, and a sprinkle of cinnamon on unsweetened yogurt for dessert. Night, electronics off an hour before bed, winding down with a book or meditation for restorative sleep. When repeated day after day, these actions give mitochondria room to breathe, repair, and multiply. The result is not only better blood sugar and cardiovascular health, but also sharper energy, clearer thinking, and resilience against aging. Metabolic disease is not simply the result of overeating or bad habits. It's a progressive breakdown of how your body processes energy at the cellular level. The mitochondria, often described as the power plants of our cells, are central to this process. When functioning properly, mitochondria convert glucose and fat into clean, usable energy. But in people with insulin resistance, this system begins to falter. Imagine a city with endless fuel stored in warehouses but broken delivery trucks. That's what happens inside your body when insulin signaling fails. Plenty of glucose and fatty acids circulate in the bloodstream, but they can't efficiently enter cells. As a result, your pancreas pumps out more and more insulin in an attempt to force the fuel in. Over time, this leads to chronically high insulin levels, inflammation, and eventually cellular exhaustion. One of the most effective ways to break this cycle is by changing the rhythm of eating. Frequent meals and constant snacking keep insulin elevated all day long, leaving no room for metabolic rest. In contrast, spacing meals further apart allows insulin to drop and cells to shift into fat-burning mode. This metabolic flexibility, the ability to switch smoothly between burning glucose and fat, is a hallmark of good health. A simple starting point is to reduce eating to 2 meals a day, a nutrient-dense lunch and dinner. For some people, even 1 meal a day becomes comfortable once the body adapts. During these fasting windows, your liver taps into stored glycogen, and your muscles begin to burn fat for fuel. Over time, this lowers fasting glucose, improves insulin sensitivity, and gives mitochondria a chance to recover. The quality of food matters just as much as timing. Processed carbohydrates, white bread, pastries, sweetened beverages are the main drivers of metabolic chaos. Swapping these out for whole foods is essential. Think of building meals around protein, healthy fats, and colorful plant foods that stabilize blood sugar and feed the mitochondria. Magnesium, potassium, and B vitamins are particularly important. Magnesium supports over 300 enzymatic reactions, many of which are directly tied to energy metabolism. Potassium helps regulate blood pressure and nerve function, while vitamin B1, thiamine, is critical for moving glucose into the mitochondria. Without adequate thiamine, even moderate carbohydrate intake can overwhelm your system. Let's take a closer look at what a metabolically healing plate might include. A base of leafy greens such as arugula or spinach, rich in chlorophyll, folate, and nitrates that improve circulation. A healthy fat source like extra virgin olive oil, which contains polyphenols that protect arteries. Mineral-rich seeds, such as pumpkin or sunflower seeds, providing magnesium, zinc, and antioxidants. A potassium-dense food like avocado, balancing electrolytes and supporting heart health. High-quality protein from grass-fed beef, pasture-raised eggs, or wild-caught fish, fueling repair and mitochondrial support. Optional additions like cinnamon to moderate blood sugar, dark chocolate for polyphenols, or a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar before meals to blunt glucose spikes. This combination not only satisfies hunger, but also provides the raw materials for your mitochondria to function efficiently. And when you finish such a meal with a light walk, just 15-20 minutes, you encourage muscles to soak up glucose from the bloodstream, preventing spikes and crashes. The beauty of this approach is that it's not about deprivation. It's about aligning your diet and lifestyle with how your body was designed to function. Over weeks and months, small changes accumulate. Fasting glucose comes down, triglycerides improve, blood pressure stabilizes, and energy levels rise. People often notice that they no longer feel trapped by constant hunger or sugar cravings. The body finally remembers how to burn fat again. Beyond the plate. Lifestyle strategies to reverse metabolic disease. While food and meal timing form the foundation, reversing heart disease and type 2 diabetes also depends on lifestyle practices that work synergistically with diet. 1. Exercise as mitochondrial medicine. Muscles are the largest reservoir for glucose disposal. When you engage in resistance training, lifting weights, doing bodyweight exercises, or even carrying groceries, you increase the number and efficiency of mitochondria in muscle tissue. This not only burns glucose in the moment, but also enhances insulin sensitivity for hours afterward. High-intensity intervals, such as short sprints or cycling bursts, are especially effective at stimulating mitochondrial biogenesis, the creation of new mitochondria. 2. Daily movement matters. Beyond structured exercise, simply breaking up long periods of sitting can have profound effects. Standing, stretching, or walking every hour improves circulation and prevents glucose from stagnating in the bloodstream. A 20-minute walk after meals, as simple as it sounds, can lower post-meal blood sugar by up to 30%. 3. Restorative sleep. Poor sleep disrupts nearly every hormone tied to metabolism: insulin, cortisol, leptin, and ghrelin. Even a single night of sleep deprivation can trigger temporary insulin resistance. Aim for 7-9 hours of high-quality sleep in a dark, cool room. Establishing a consistent bedtime routine, limiting screens at night, and prioritizing relaxation before bed can reset your circadian rhythm and dramatically improve metabolic function. 4. Stress management. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which signals the liver to release glucose into the blood. Over time, this adds to insulin resistance and weight gain around the midsection. Practices such as meditation, deep breathing, yoga, or simply spending time in nature help bring cortisol levels down, protecting your metabolic health. 5. Sunlight and infrared exposure. Vitamin D plays a key role in insulin sensitivity and immune balance. Getting sunlight on your skin each day is one of the most natural ways to optimize vitamin D. Infrared light, present at sunrise and sunset, has been shown to support mitochondrial function by stimulating cytochrome C oxidase, an enzyme essential for energy production. 6. Gut health and the microbiome. Emerging science reveals that certain gut microbes directly influence blood sugar regulation. Foods like unsweetened yogurt, fermented vegetables, and fiber-rich plants feed beneficial bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids. These compounds lower inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity. A healthy microbiome also protects the gut barrier, reducing the leakage of endotoxins that drive systemic inflammation. 7. Avoiding ultra-processed foods. Perhaps the simplest yet hardest rule: don't bring ultra-processed foods into your home. These products are engineered to override satiety signals, often combining refined starches, seed oils, and hidden sugars. They push your body back toward insulin resistance and energy failure. Filling your environment with whole, nutrient-dense foods makes healthier choices automatic. 8. Tracking progress without obsession. Instead of focusing solely on weight, track meaningful markers: fasting glucose, waist-to-hip ratio, energy levels, sleep quality, and the ability to go longer between meals. These are early indicators that your metabolism is healing, often improving before dramatic weight changes occur. The path to reversing heart disease and type 2 diabetes isn't about perfection. It's about momentum. Every small decision you make sends a signal to your body, either toward repair and resilience or toward further dysfunction. The combined power of nutrition, movement, rest, and stress control is far greater than any single medication. And this is where you come in. If you found this video helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments. What small changes are you planning to start today? Don't forget to subscribe and join our community here at Live Healthy Every Day. By supporting each other, we can transform not only our health, but also the lives of those around us.